All right, folks, welcome to another live stream here, coming to you live today from the Sydney Indoor Climbing Gym in Villawood. Sports Climbing Australia 2022 new National Youth Championships. Jason Witten here with you, coming to you live from Sydney. And as you can see right now, we've got the lead finals and all the lead finalists being announced out here in the gym today. You can probably hear the MC in the background, folks, and here's the young athletes getting ready. They've had a big day of qualifying rounds, and we have a number of athletes from all over Australia and some from New Zealand, matter of fact, folks. Great to see such a large amount of competitors in the competition here today. What's going on here, folks? For those who joined us yesterday, welcome back. For those who are joining us new today, well, welcome. Welcome if you're new. If you haven't seen the climbing before, great to have new viewers, new potential enjoyers of the show. I can see your comments on YouTube today, folks. Some of you may have been watching the live stream yesterday. But give us a shout out in the chat, in YouTube. Say a quick hello. Say hello and let us know where you're coming in from. There was people from all over Australia yesterday, some from Western Australia, some from New Zealand. But all of the states representing this weekend here in Sydney. All the young athletes now, what are they doing right now? If you can see out there, you can probably, well, it looks like they're looking up and maybe seeing something amazing in the sky. Well, it is for them. They're all now having a look at the route. This is their chance to have a look at the route and memorize it. In a moment, they will go into what's called isolation. They've been in isolation for a bit, actually. It sounds a bit harsh, but the route setters have been on the wall this afternoon, readjusting and tweaking some of the finals lead climbs. And now this is the first chance that these athletes are going to get to have a look at the climbs. And maybe we can get the camera team to pan up and have a look at what they're looking at and see what they're all looking up into the sky for. So what they're doing, they're having a look at the wall and trying to commit to memory what they might be faced with later on. Now, they could be sitting in isolation for, sometimes an hour or so as the heats roll on. There is 8 climbers in each of the heats. We're going to be having our climbers come out in reverse order from 8 through to 1 and how they finished in qualifying rounds. And we're going to see the Youth B come out first, the Youth A come out second, and then the Junior finals come out last this evening. And should be a great couple of hours on the live stream with these great climbing tonight. So let's see how we go with things tonight. All right, well, give us a shout out in the chat. Yesterday, everyone was very chatty in the Facebook page, but maybe the YouTube channel might be a little bit more difficult to do the chat. Let us know where you're dialing in from, folks. All right. All right. One last minute for the young athletes to have a bit of a look at their climb ahead of them, committing it to memory in the previews right here. Welcome to the Sydney Indoor Climbing Gym in Villawood, folks. We're coming to you live from Sydney, the 2022 National Youth Championships. Who we've got here tonight in the finals. Let me quickly have a bit of a look for you guys as we are coming on out. Our finals competitors tonight. And let's have a look at the Youth B finals. And we might get the Youth B finals up on the screen, and we'll show you who has qualified as you go. So you can see our Youth B female finalists in reverse order there. You can see their rank in the top 8. And we have now the Youth B male competitors getting their self-organised, I'm sure, out there. They only had a couple of minutes to check out the routes before they needed to go back into isolation. And we've got the Youth A female up on the screen right now. What happens, folks, is they come out in 1 to 8 ranked order, but number 8 is the one that finished usually. Maybe not on the screen right now, but they're your top 8. Usually the reverse order comes out. The strongest finisher in the qualifiers comes out last, and the person who came in at 8th comes out first, and that's the way we will be doing it. The Youth B will be out first, Youth B and Youth B male and Youth B female. We will be having a climber from each climbing at the same time. Action-packed here tonight. And then we've got the Youth A male. Strong show from these climbers here today. The junior female. We've got a bunch of these competitors backing up. They were in the finals last night in Boulder. They're in the finals today in Lead. And I'm sure tomorrow they'll be, some of these will be in the finals tomorrow for speed. What a massive weekend it is for these young athletes. And finally, we've got the junior male competitors lined up for the finals this afternoon. And that's it from the finalists. Maybe back to some of the footage. They're still out there sharing a bit of information. One of the great things about this sport, you know, no matter where they're from, whether they're from Queensland or New South Wales, or you can see it actually when we are watching the Olympics. No matter where you are around the world when it comes to climbing, it's a fantastic sport to be part of the community. And you can see the crowd out there, some of the keen climbers like, yeah, you should do it this way and get that pinch. Put your foot up high. There'll be a lot of cheering going on, I'm quite sure. Lots of parents. Big shout out to all the volunteers. You can see them in the orangey red t-shirts there, and some of them are in other colours, but this whole event is run by volunteers. And big shout out to those guys. Big shout out to the mums and dads, the parents who bring the children, you know, many thousands of kilometres sometimes interstate and across the ditch. Our friends and brothers and sisters from New Zealand as well, our Anzac companions, making the trip here this weekend as well. And there's the judges. It does have a series of judges as well. And at the bottom you'll see, if you're not familiar with climbing, at the bottom you will see someone called the belayer. That belayer will hold the rope. Now, yesterday we had some top rope with the younger competitors. Some of the D and C competitors, they were The D competitors were on top rope, which means that they don't have to clip in on the way up. But you can see on the wall, you can see the quick draws. And if you're unfamiliar with climbing, this is called lead climbing, lead finals today. And in the Olympics, there was 3 different disciplines. If you caught that, the boulder, the lead, and the speed. And we've got our first competitors out right now. And who have we got on the wall now? We've got Coatsy Christelle. Not quite sure where she's from. I can't see that here, but Coatsy Christelle, let me check that out. All the way from Western Australia. Hearing from the judges how to start the climb and what will be finished. It looks like we've got the Youth B female and the Youth A female climbing at the same time by the look of it. 167 Maeve Bradbury from New South Wales, and Maeve's off to a good start. And we've got 3 actually, 3 all climbing at once. So there you go. It will be an action-packed activity on the wall by the look of things, folks. So that is great to see. Looks like we might have hopefully they've got, well, whoever that is on the wall, number 81 competitor, not on my list here, but I'll check on my other list. Sometimes there we go. I've got an 81, which is Firth Benjamin. So all 3 climbers now making their way up the wall. You can see them as they're progressing quite nicely. We've got Firth over there going quite well. He's got a little bit less to contend with down low, but it gets a bit serious up high. And you can see it starts to get into the business end of town. And, you know, when you're looking at one angle, you look, oh, well, Firth just looks like he's climbing straight up. But when you get that angle of the camera, he's certainly starting to kick back now, climbing into the roof section. And all 3 of those climbers. Let me tell you a little bit about what the rules are, folks. You can see the quick draws there as those climbers are climbing along. And they must clip the quick draw before they move past it. They can't climb past, I think it's knee or ankle height, because that's a safety concern. So that's the first rule. You must clip it when you can. You must clip all of those draws. You cannot skip them. As you climb up the wall, folks, each hold is counted as they progress up the wall, usually anywhere from sort of 1 at the bottom all the way to maybe 30 or 40 at the top, 30 or 40 holds. Each of those holds is added up as a progressive point. You know, number 21, there you go. And our first climber off. We've still got our other 2. Firth in the roof now. This is where the business really gets started. He's been climbing a while now and cutting loose. And both of them looking like they're getting fairly close to the tops, actually, which is kind of nice. He's found a bit of a rest up there if the team can get a bit of a heel hook. And Firth still the last climber on, making good progress. Now this is, you can see that he's up high, upside down, and the crowd's really getting behind him. Now he's got to be careful of this as his feet cut loose. Oh, there you go. Well done, Firth. Well, great showing by our first set of climbers out in the finals. And they all made some pretty significant height in their attempts there. He was pretty happy with that, I'm sure. And the camera team right in there, seeing the look of exhaustion or adrenaline on their faces. But there's no rest here between the rounds. We've got our next set of climbers out. getting a briefing from the judges, letting them know how this rolls. And we've got our competitor. I'll try and track them down. 252, Lauren Larson, Kira Larson, sorry, Youth A. And Kira Larson, she's from Victoria. Well done. Well, welcome, Kira. She's about to start on her finals attempt. You only get one attempt on these climbs, folks. That's how it works in lead climb. You get one attempt to start at the bottom. You progress up the wall. Like I said before, each of these holds donates a point. 1 point, you collect them. They're collected as you go. Now, as you move up the wall, you might see some of these climbers get to a point where they know they're about to fall off, and they'll make a lunge or a movement to the next hold. That's donated as a plus, so it might be 20 plus. They'll get 21 if they reach the next hold. But a little bit of a strategy there. If you do feel like you're not going to make the next hold, you've got to make a concerted move towards the next one and you'll get a plus. A little bit of strategy on those things. And you'll see some of the climbers making sure that, that they try and preserve a little bit of energy as they go. You'll see the best technique is a little bit more energy conservation along the way. Climb fast enough not to run out of energy, but climb slow enough to be precise and not waste a lot of energy as a bit of a balancing point. But lots of different climbers have different techniques, and I'm sure we'll get a pretty significant showing of the skills of the climbers over this finals. And who we got out here? Number 78. Let me see if I can track them down on my. We have got William Frost Foster, and William is from the Youth B, I believe. Trying to track him down, or is it the junior male? Sorry, William, I don't know where you're from. Not on my sheet here, but I think you, by the look of your T-shirt, I can't tell. But William is on his finals route right there. And let's see how he goes. Progressing upwards, the business really gets going for the male finalists over there in the roof section, large roof section. And in the middle, we've got another competitor out. Came out a bit slower than the others. Competitor 169, Mackenzie Hansen. And Mackenzie Hansen from New South Wales. So great to see these guys here. Now Williams in the roof there. The business is about to start for him in the very steep section. Mackenzie still down low. I think she started a bit later. There is a time frame, folks, on the climb. If you do climb the lead climb faster than someone else, if both climbers make it to the top, your time to the top is recorded also, and that donates, or that will split you in that as well. We've got a few people, few shout outs from some people at home, which is awesome. Charmaine, go Queensland, go Ash, go Kate, go Jai. And RC, we've got Go Bella, Dominici. Great to see some support at home. So yeah, give us a shout out in the chat. It's always great to see you guys supporting these climbers. And Williams up there in the roof. Now he's got a little bit of a knee bar. You can see he's got his knee against something, and he's trying to find himself a little bit of a rest in the roof before he heads out. This is a very tough, steep section, completely overhung, upside down, and he'll want to move through this quickly. The holds are fairly big, but after, you know, the head wall, or the main wall, he will be finding a little bit of a pump. See, he went, so that was the strategy, folks. He went for the next hold. Now, whether he gets awarded that will be up to the judges. A concerted effort to go to the next hold and try and make use of it. And Mackenzie here looking very relaxed, making sure she conserves energy, shakes out on the way up, and trying to find a space and a place to have a little rest. Sometimes you can get your body into a position where you can shake out. That's what she's doing now. We call that a bit of a shake out. Your arms get pumped and give it a bit of a shake. Get the feeling and the blood back to where it needs to be, not all in the arms, so you're running out of power. And then make your moves for the next one when you can. So Mackenzie looking very solid at this moment, and shaking out. You can see she's starting to get a little bit pumped now. Coming down, trying to keep those arms straight. The best energy or the best conservation is when you can keep your arms straight. You'll see the climbers keep their arms straight as much as possible so they can conserve the energy for later on. We've got our next competitor out, 356, Bella Dominishki. And Bella, let me see if I can find Bella. Bella is from New Zealand, so welcome to the New Zealand team. And we've got one of the New Zealanders in the finals, which is fantastic to see. Bella making her way up her lead climb as well, and we've got another one of the males out right now. We'll see how they go. They'll keep rolling out over the competition. The judges are keeping a keen eye on how they're going, and Mackenzie, even though she was looking a bit tired, is making some great progress over there. Another few climbs up. Now, she's doing some smart stuff. She's shaking out and coming back down to bigger holds, and this is what's known as the endurance or the pump up high. Now, looking like she's, yes, I was going to say looking like she might come off right now. And again, you saw right there as she was about to peel off that at the top, she made a move to the next hold. Now, who have we got in on the male white? I haven't been able to see their number yet. Maybe the team can zoom in for me and I can have a little look at the number there. It looks like it's drawn on, but whoever that is, I think that might be another New Zealand competitor by the look of things. We shall see. And 359. 359. We got Nat Warburton. Nat Warburton up here now, having... yep, and Nat's from New Zealand as well. Oh, bit of a foot slip. Come on, Nat. Now that can make all the difference. And there you go. He pumped out. And what happens, folks, when you just get a little bit tired and your footwork starts to struggle, then it can be a real issue for the climbers up on the wall, because you want to preserve that energy. And Bella there, coming down from her high point. And you can really see undoing the knot there. She's pretty happy, but looking pretty tired. You can, some of these climbers are up on the wall for 5 minutes or more. And if you can think about, just try and hang. Instead of doing a chin-up, think about doing 20 chin-ups, but also, or more, 30, 40, 50 chin-ups, but also hanging from your hands for 5 minutes. And you can just start to get a bit of a feel for what that looks like as we go. Lisa giving a bit of a shout out online for Bella, and all the way from NZ, which is fantastic. Little fist pump there from the volunteers. Fantastic to see. We've got our a Queenslander by the look of it, and competitor 18 out here, Joanna Waldick from Queensland. And we've got another of the competitors out. Ethan Naylor from Queensland also. So bit of a show for the Queenslanders right now. Joanna looking pretty solid. Ethan making his way up the white. We know the business gets going a bit higher for the male, and the female, both the female routes. Oh, well, the one on the left that Joanna is on, fairly sustained. The same sort of angle for pretty well the whole climb. Some of those handholds look fairly large, and you know, in isolation they are pretty big, but after one after another, sometimes you can have the biggest handhold in the world and still fall off the thing. And Ethan making it to this point where we had Nat before, made a little foot slip. He's just choosing to get himself a little bit set for his next move and move on through. Looks like we might have one of maybe the South Australians there, I think, or the Western Australians. Let me see who that might be. Go to 37. We've got May Sire, May, and May. Where is May from? Let me see if I can find her. May's from Western Australia. That's right. The WA contingent had some great showings yesterday in the boulder, and today we've got there goes Joanna. Pretty good high point. Looks like that point right there might be one of the points that might be the high point for the climbers, and Ethan's made it through the roof or into the roof. We know that this is where we've seen the previous climbers fall at this high point. And he's given the crowd a bit of a rev. Come on, you guys, get behind me. He needs a little bit of adrenaline, bit of a pump to get him going. And we'll see how he works as he moves out through this roof. We've seen a few competitors fall in this, and yes. Well, we now have, I think, a new high point for the males. He's considering clipping there. Got to cut their feet. Oh, look at him go. And yes, absolutely made a new high point by the look of it. He's going to make this clip. Got to try and make these clips nice and efficient, because you can see he's starting to flame out here. Only about 7 or 8 more moves to go before the top, and we shall see how he goes around the lip. Now he's moving from under the roof. Oh, well done, well done. We've got our high point there for Ethan. He'll be pretty happy with that. He was revving up the crowd. Look, good work, Ethan. See the belayers in there as well, and none of the climbers are on the wall now, and the new ones are out in the mix. I think this might be a Taco here. I'm pretty sure that's a Taco from the Queensland team. Yeah, Atako Nakamura from the Queensland team. She did pretty well yesterday in the boulder. Taco coming in third in boulder yesterday. And now she is in the finals for lead as well. Good showing from the Queenslanders. Let's see how she goes on her final climb for tonight. You can see, folks, on the wall right now, there are a number of large blue shapes. Now, they're called volumes. As a climber, you can use the volumes. They are part of the climb. They're an extension of the wall. They've been very popular in recent times, using volumes to make the shapes a little bit more interesting and exciting when it comes to the route setting and the styles and the positions. And it's brought a great dimension to climbing. You cannot touch the other coloured holes. As you make your way up the wall, your designated route or climb is designated with a colour. You can see right here the pink and the whites. Oh, you'd call that apricot, depending on how you see it. And you can't touch any of the other holes, or you can't touch the clips either. So you can see where you clip in, which is the quick draws. You can't use them, you can't pull on them, and you can't stand on them either. So pretty straightforward. You've got to climb from the bottom to the top. Along the way, you collect each hold. That is a point. If you make a positive move to the next one, but do not get to hold that hold, then that's what's called a plus, 20 plus, etc. And the judges will be keenly looking at that. At the end of the competition, everybody has 15 minutes to say, hey, I think you got that wrong. And then there will be an announcement for the winners. We should be able to show that live, actually, as we go through tonight, or as we go through the event, hopefully. But we'll see how we go. Sometimes the live data doesn't come through, and we don't want to give the wrong impression of who's winning or who's not. But we've got our 3 climbers out on the wall right now, and Atako making pretty good progress on hers. Starts to get a little bit interesting here. Not quite sure what she wants to do. Still looking pretty good at this point in time. High on the wall. This is where we've seen probably the high point for the females. We've got an ACT competitor over in the males there. And that is Willem Grant Ryan. Oh, Atako is off. Looks like she might have almost made a high point there. So let's hope that for her sake in her competition. We've got Willem in on the male, white, and we have Eliza Andreas on the pink climb in the middle. And Eliza's off. Eliza from the ACT. Now Willem about to get serious here in the roof where the business starts. He made pretty quick progress there. He got himself up to that and just taken a moment to gather himself. Wondering, well, I think he'll be disappointed with that. It looked like he was going pretty well, but you know, it's a difficult thing with making decisions on the fly under time constraints and pressure up there high in the sky when you're making those decisions, when you're fatigued or in a rush, folks. And maybe he would have preferred to go with another hand, and that's called sequence. You know, you do a certain number of moves with the climb in a certain sequence. Left hand or right hand first, right foot, whatever it might be. And sometimes those sequences can be a little tricky under the circumstances. But about to have our next round of competitors up on the wall. And we have Summer Fraser for the Youth B. And Summer's all the way from New South Wales, a local. Looks like we've got another New Zealander here in the Youth A. That's Summer. Starting her last climb of the night, and we've got Azaria Briscoe, and I believe Azaria is from New Zealand, as I can see from her shirt, and another Queenslander here as well. about to start up there on his final climb for the night. Dueling climbers here, which is fantastic. They're not competing in the same category. We've got the Youth B female, the Youth A female, and we have that is Dylan. Is that 59? Need my glasses, folks. Oh, no, that's Max, sorry. Max Thomas. It's a 50, not a 60. And we've got Max Thomas right here. And Max all the way from Queensland. So the three climbers are on the wall, making good progress. You can see most of them make their way up the bottom part of the climb, which really, the route setters, make it interesting but not too hard. The business really starts when the walls start to kick back and the climbers get a little bit higher. Certainly, we've seen some great climbing from all of the competitors so far. Very precise. And amazing endurance from these athletes. Many of them have been competing for 2 days already in a row, and some of them will be competing again tomorrow. Certainly you get a little bit of respect for these guys, for the energy and effort it takes to continue to climb all weekend long. It also takes a bit of a toll on your skin. These climbs or holds that you can see, the coloured holds, they are quite textured. They can be a little bit abrasive as well. And taking care of your skin is actually one of the parts of climbing competitions. You must make sure you do that. And we've got all of them at pretty good high points now. We've got Dylan, Zaria, and Summer, all, I think, kicking into, I think Summer is about to make a high point. The crowd's going wild because what we've seen right now, I think, is Azaria's made the high point in the Youth A female, and it looks like we might be going to get a top here from Summer Fraser. So she's only 1 or 2 moves from the top. Yes, what a great shot. Let's see if she's getting a bit of a pump now. See if she can get in position to make it work. One more move, go! Come on, Summer. And Azaria on the lip as well. The females putting a good show on. Oh! Fantastic. Well done, Summer. She'll be happy with that. And Azaria as well. Both top or high points for the female competitors so far. And Willem here trying to navigate through this roof. It looks like it's the foot. Yep, and he's done that pretty nicely as well. Still looking well in control. Still looking very strong. And he doesn't want to hang around on the roof too long here, I wouldn't think. He thinks he can clip it from a good hold, which is smart. Oh. Getting himself a little bit more clipped in here, and he's going to clip with another hand. And hopefully that doesn't cost him, but looks like he had himself locked in there pretty well. This, I think, is the high point from the male Youth A. Oh! Well, there you go, folks. I think we saw 3 of the high points so far in the competition tonight. And it's hotting up here. Plenty of climbers. Oh. You earned it, Willem. Good work, mate. And what a good effort, what a good attempt for him there tonight. Just going through. There's no real time pressure on getting started. We're just going through the sequence here. Looks like we've got out next Clea Hall. And Clears from Queensland. Is one of the higher competitors. She finished in spot 2 in the competition. One of our Victorian competitors here, Teo. Murasawa, Teo Murasawa, and we've got Clear Hall out for the females, and our next male competitor will be out any moment. You can see behind the scenes there, folks, just off to the right, that's where isolation is. All the climbers can sit behind there. You can hear the crowd going, but you don't know how high your previous competitor had climbed. And it's certainly an opportunity for you to manage your nerves, manage your energy, as we see Clear and Teo make their way up the wall. Teo looking very comfortably so far. And we've got Dylan out now, Dylan Parks. Looks like he's sporting a maroon, but he's from New South Wales. So there you go, according to my books right here. So making his way pretty comfortably so far, but we all know that the business doesn't start on this white one until the roof, folks. But what we can see is Teo very quickly making it up to that head wall. And yeah, we've seen a few of the female athletes just struggle at that move there, so we might get a bit of a closer look on her attempt to make it through what might be called a crux high on the climb. It looked like that route was fairly consistent until around about there, but she's making great progress now. Only a few moves from the top. Again, seeing some fantastic efforts here. Summer before, one move from the top or going for the top hold. Teo here, just seeing if she can get her feet right for this last move, or one of the last moves. Wow. And the crowd's loving that one. Big cross across her shoulders. Imagine that, folks, leaping across your body, and there it is. A top for Teo. And she'll be pretty happy with that, I am sure. Haven't seen her top from the other competitions as of yet, but they're both still on the wall, up high. And the business is about to start for Dylan as he climbs into the roof. Looking fairly comfortable up there. Finding a little bit of a rest point. And Clear also looking fairly comfortable. Not moving particularly fast and very precise with her movements and her footwork. And Dylan now. Oh, big move. And you probably saw, folks, there he is moving to that next hold. Probably felt like he was going to come off, but committed to a big move out through the roof. And that's the tough bit. You've got to move out there once that kicks back into a roof. Really starts to zap the energy out of you as we go. But we've still got Clear here. Getting pretty high on this, her attempt. And just stopping every little bit just to see if she can get her pump out of her arms. Being efficient on the clips is so important. If you clip it first go, you know, imagine you've got 20 or 15 or 20 quick draws on the way up. If you clip it first go, great. But if you clip it second go on every single one, that's 15 more times that you had to hang on one arm. So it's important for the climbers to practice those and make sure that they do them efficiently. And she's finding more. She was going to try and find a little bit of a knee bar going through the roof here, but we'll see. Wow. Let's go, Clear. Oh, Oh, I don't know how she held that. Oh, and just, oh. Well, she campers to that next one. Maybe she was even surprised she held it herself. But that was impressive. Well done. Good effort. And that might have been one of the high points on that one. We've now got Jasmine Arnold-Clark. And can quite clearly see Jasmine's from New Zealand. Clear, absolutely puffed. What an effort. And you can see these athletes giving it their all, folks, here tonight. Not leaving anything. Not leaving anything on the wall. Great to see. I'm sure some of these young athletes have got some aspirations for the Olympics. I do know there's a number of these youth athletes looking to travel over to the World Cup. There's a World Cup climbing, bouldering and speed circuit. If anyone wants to check that out, it's on YouTube. You can have a look at the International Climbing Sports Federation, the ICFC, something anyway, what it is. And there's some great live stream coverage of the international events as well. It will be great to see some of the young athletes taking advantage of getting involved in some of those competitions also. Great to see a few shout outs online. Lou is saying, come on, Dylan. Dylan did well in his last attempt there. Can't really see who we got on the wall here right now. But I think that might be another Dylan Soyne. And if it is Dylan, then that's great. He's from New South Wales also. Jasmine over there, making pretty good progress also. Not too many moves to the top for her. And let's see how she goes through these next few moves. This is where it starts to get a little bit powerful and pumpy. Not that it hasn't been the whole way, but she's looking pretty composed here. Maybe this move just a little bit, hanging on. That hold there is not as good as you want it to be. Yes, well done. Ballant. Good work, Jasmine. Teo making a top prior to that, and that is the one to beat so far in the youth B females. But we've got young Dylan Soyne here on the male. And the youth A male. And we've got Emily Scott from the ACT. Emily making steady, solid progress on her last climb of the night. See a little bit of a twist there. She put a foot in and dropped her knee over. Lots of little techniques in climbing, folks. You can see the way each of the climbers are holding the holds. Sometimes the holds are orientated in a way that it doesn't make it easy to hold on to them. Upside down, sideways, backwards. And as a climber, you've got to maneuver your body. You can see he's a nice job. Dylan making pretty good progress here, and the footwork not too bad up there on the roof. He'll find himself a spot or two to see if he can clip comfortably from, and maybe even get a little rest, shake out before he goes over to the next set, because this is where, if you can get across to that big white bar, a couple of moves over, we know that it's only one or two moves above that is the next high point. So pretty close to being in contention for his competition tonight. And we've got Emily Scott. I think Emily's the last Youth A female out tonight, and Dylan Soyne, the last Youth A male out tonight. These two finished in top spot in the finals, or the qualifications for the finals, and we'll see how these guys go in the finals. Looks like we might have, maybe it's Maya over on Maya Statsic actually, Statsic over on her final climb for the night also. Dylan looking good. You can see him puffing a little bit now, trying to shake out. This is the move where it gets a couple of the muscles really needing to fire. And Dylan's trying to make sure he got enough energy to turn this lip. This is what's called a lip. When you come out of a roof, which you're basically upside down on, getting a hold and maybe changing angles. One more move, one more hold, and he could be at the high point, or close to the high point for... And yes, he is at the youth. Crowd goes wild, youth, A male, high point. Oh! We shall see. And over there, I think we are getting Maya Stasic. Looks like another top for the Youth B females as well. Well done, Maya. Yes, and she looked like she cruised that one pretty easily. Lots in the tank there. When we shall see. Well, Teo and Maya have topped the Youth B female. I think that's it for the Youth B female. Youth B male. Youth A male, sorry. Youth A male. We haven't seen a top, but the two Dylans. Dylan Soyne, I think it was Max Thomas, made a high point. Now this could be right here, I think, with Emily. Could be, yes, she's made the high point, I think, for, and looks like one more. Come on, Emily. The top is only one move away. Oh! But she'll be pretty happy with that. So Emily almost the top. And yeah, absolutely stoked with that effort. Well done, Emily. All the way from the ACT. And right now there'll be 15 minutes of appeals for the competitors to, say, hey, listen, there might have been a false start or something happened. And we'll see what happens. And then we'll be moving on to, folks, stick with us, the Youth B male. And then we kick into gear into the junior female and the junior male. Let's have a little look at some of the background footage that the team captured from the qualifiers today. All right, folks, we are back at it, or almost going to be back at it. Oh, we are. We're already kicked in. We've got a couple of competitors on the wall right now. They didn't miss a beat here. Straight into the junior male with Marlowe. one of the Queenslanders making the trip up today. So Marlowe doing well yesterday in the boulder also. He's made pretty quick progress up to one of the earlier cruxes. You would think down a bit lower on the climb. There's a few moves that the route setters will put in there just to spice it up a little bit. Another Queenslander on the wall there. And it looks like that might be Hannah Sides. Another Queenslander. And we'll see how these two make it. They're all climbing on the same lead climb tonight, making things a little bit more easy for the route setters. All right. So we've got Hannah and we've got Marlowe making good progress on the way up. And very soon we'll have our first competitor out for the Youth B male. And that first competitor is Jai. But in the meantime, the dueling Queenslanders. Marlowe now about to get into the business end of this climb, moving out into the roof. Certainly is where it starts to really kick in. We've seen that with a few of the competitors. A few shout outs online. Lara, bit of a shout out to Jasmine. Fantastic. A bit of a shout out to Azaria. And a bit of a shout out to Ella. So great to see you guys supporting at home. Fantastic to have all of you on the live stream also. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to Sports Climbing Australia's YouTube channel. They do lots of content as well, so it's great to have you guys supporting the sport. Oh, and Marlowe's off. Oh, we might have a little bit of an issue here. No, he just hooked his leg up on the way down, and it sometimes can happen. You've got to be careful with where that rope's flowing and what's going on with your appendages, but we're just going to check it out. Maybe a little bit of rope burn, but I don't think too much damage is done. And we've got our other competitor over there on the wall, and it looks like that is our first competitor for the Youth B male, all the way from Western Australia. Jai Fuster, starting out his last climb of the night. And taking it steady. Just making sure he gets the manoeuvres down low, all right. Conserve the energy for the top, because we've seen this one a few times. We've seen a couple of tops on this one from some of the strong athletes just of recent. So we shall see how Jai goes. And the two Queenslanders are down. Hannah and Marlowe have made their finals. Their finals climb are done and dusted for those guys. They'll probably be back tomorrow. We've got the speed climbing in the afternoon again, folks. Be fabulous for you guys to join us again for the speed tomorrow. Absolutely jam-packed with activity here at the 2022 National Youth Championships. Jason Witten here, commentating with you guys today. And Jai from Western Australia finishing his competition here tonight. Looks like we have... Is that Lucy Briggs? Is that a 2:13? It could be Lucy. Out now for the junior female. And next out will be AJ Goldsmith for the junior male. And Lucy all the way from Victoria. We now have AJ Goldsmith out in the junior male for Queensland. Making pretty good progress on this one as well. Not mucking around. And there's a little bit of a trade-off with the climbing. Different climbers climb at different paces. You know, if you move fast, then you preserve energy for the top. If you move too slow, then maybe you get precise, but you might run out of energy. So depending on your fitness and depending on your confidence, you will see different climbers, you know, climb with different styles. Certainly with lead climbing, endurance plays a big part. Boulder often needs a bit more explosive power. And for the speed climbing, well, it's a self-description. You want to be as fast as possible and explode and try and be accurate and fast at the same time. So all three disciplines, very interesting when it comes to trying to specialise in all three. At the recent Olympics, folks, we had, at the recent Olympics, they were all three combined in a gold medal. Coming up in the next few Olympics, they will be split, so I've been told. And that'll be great for the competitors worldwide. Fantastic to see the sport being recognised in the Olympics, and fantastic to see so many young athletes here at the Youth National Championships in 2022. And we've got our Queenslander AJ making it up into the business end of this climb. Starts to kick back in the roof and really starts to get serious, and looks like he might be just getting a little bit pumped here, but maybe if he can find himself a spot up here, he might be able to give himself a bit of a rest. Over there, we've got Lucy just slowly but steadily making some progress. She's doing all right. Looking a little bit pumped now, maybe trying to find a place for a rest. Bit better foot. Make a few more moves to these next holds, Lucy, because that counts. Every move to the next hold counts. You can see her elbows up, and yeah, off she goes. Now we've got another Queenslander over here. Looks like that might be Marcus. Marcus there in the Youth B male. Is it Marcus? Let me see. No. Marley, sorry. We've got Marley. Marley Reeves from Queensland. Starting his last climb of the night. A bit of a large contingent from the Queenslanders, great to see. But it's great to see a contingent from all of the states and the sports climbing federations. Sports Climbing Western Australia, Sports Climbing Victoria, Sports Climbing Queensland, Sport Climbing Tasmania, Sport Climbing New South Wales ACT. Fantastic to see that. Sports Climbing SA, South Australia. Great to see the parents, great to see the volunteers really putting in just such a mammoth effort for this weekend's action-packed climbing here for these young athletes. They have showed out in massive numbers, 340 plus competitors for the weekend, which is fantastic, great to see. And we've got Marley here. Looking a little bit pumped, but maybe just needs to compose himself here. Plenty of fitness left in the tank by the look of it. Yeah. But there you go. Good on you, Marley. Well, it's been a long weekend, and if he's competing tomorrow, it's going to be still a bit longer. And we'll see how he goes with his high point. But a few more of the young athletes out now. Who have we got? We've got Leroy Harley. It looks like Leroy might be from Tasmania. Looking good, Leroy. We've got competitor 57 now, which is Maya Fuller. Out as well on the youth, or not the youth, the junior female. Maya Fuller from Victoria. We got Maya and Leroy. And Leroy moving quite fast, which is good. You could see that before, folks. You see some of the competitors moving slowish, and then you move, some of them will move reasonably fast, like Leroy here. This is his style by the look of it, and sometimes one style of climbing is not better or worse. Whatever works for your style, your type, your body type, your fitness, whatever that might be. And so far, so good. So far, so good for Leroy. And you can see Maya moving a little bit slower, a bit more. She's got to be careful not to touch those purple ones. Yep, the judges will shout out to her if she does. You can touch the blue, big volumes on the wall, folks. I was saying that a while ago. Those volumes are on. What's not on, though, what you cannot use are any of the coloured holes that are not your designated climb. And for these guys, you've got to follow the, I don't call that pink, call it apricot. And Leroy's got to follow the white one as he makes his way into this very steep part of the climb for him. This is where the business really kicks in. We've seen this a couple of times. We haven't seen the white topped yet. And we have not seen this apricot topped either from the previous competitors. We've seen a few high points. It would be great to see if we can get some of these competitors at the top of the climb. And I'm sure Leroy would like to be one of those. We shall see how he goes through this roof section here. For those who might have just joined us just recently, a bit of a shout out from the Tassie crew. Go Leroy from Tassie. And well done, Marley. You're amazing. There from Lynn. Great to see everyone jumping on the chat tonight, supporting these young'uns. Well, Maya is done, and Leroy is still up there. He's moved through that section now. Now we know a couple more moves above this is the high point, and Leroy still looking pretty good. And, fumbling a little bit with that clip, but again, like I said before, if you get the clip first go, then it helps with the energy conservation. This is where every little bit of energy counts. And he's found a little rest spot there. You can see he's got a heel tucked in up there in the roof, and looking for the next hold. Let's see what he can do. Bit of a foot move here, and a throw with your, roll your body over maybe, and see what you can hold. Nice, Leroy, come on. Come on. Wow, all right, here we go. This might be a new high point, folks. Oh, well done, Leroy. I think he'd be pretty happy with that. And we have over here on the youth B male, we have Marco McLean making his way up to his competition. Down low, not too far into it just yet, but I'm sure we'll see a little bit more. Oh, no, he's up pretty high actually. Pardon me. Thought he was a bit lower than that, but he was up there. And that was Marco. And Marco's from Tasmania. Well done, Marco. Got a West Australian right here. Which is Alexis Lowe. And let's see how Alexis travels on her last climb of the night, all the way from Western Australia. Great to see the Western Australians travelling here to Sydney. The Sydney Indoor Climbing Gym in Villawood is where this event is being hosted. Big shout out to those guys. Really appreciate you guys hosting us for the Sports Climbing Australia Youth Nationals, the National Youth Championships, folks. Great to see. And we have Alexis making pretty good progress with her last climb of the night. We've got Aiden over here, Aiden Yenev. From Western Australia, the two Western Australians on the wall right now. And Aiden, again, climbing fairly fast. You can see the different styles of climbers. Alexis climbing a little bit slower than Aiden, but very precise in her footwork, precise in her hands, very accurate, where Aiden is a little bit more dynamic. And both styles work well. Whatever works for you. Some good camera work there by the team. The dueling Western Australians. Fantastic. And we know for the white climb tonight, the business starts really in the roof. If you can get through the roof after some reasonably big moves up this head wall, then that's when you really got to conserve some energy, arrive at the roof and make sure you've got some left in the tank. Clipping those colds there or clipping those quick draws as efficiently as possible. How does it work? If you're sitting at home going, how does the scoring work? Well, let me quickly catch you up on that, folks. As you climb up the wall, each of the handholds are scored. They have a number from 1 usually to 35 to 40 or somewhere thereabouts. The climbing wall is about 15 metres high. And there we go. Alexis is down, finishing her lead climbing competition, her last attempt here. And we still have another one of the Western Australians, Aiden, on the wall. He's now ready to get into the business end of town on this white climb here tonight. Looking pretty strong. One-armed chin up, thank you very much, in the roof. How does the scoring work, folks? As you go along, like I said before, usually about 1 to 40. As you move along, you get a point each time you make a controlled hold of a climbing hold. If you are seen to be moving to the next hold, well, you get a plus point. So it might be 20 plus. If you hit the next hold, it would be 21. So 20 plus meant you made some physical effort to go from that one to the next one. That's how it works. The person who can climb to the highest point on the route in the shortest period of time is the winner. And Aiden here, wow, making it work. Starting to now get a little bit tired. You can see him just flaming out there a little bit, shaking out those arms, trying not to get too tired. And we'll see if he gets himself through this roof section as well. Taking a bit of a rest. Chalking up. Maybe those holes are getting a bit slippery up there. I mean, the temperature's good here. The conditions are great for climbing. So really at the end of the day, for most of the climbers, I think it's optimal chances for them to make the most of where they're at. And now we've got Aiden coming out from the roof and turning the lip, and here's, yes, only 1 or 2 more moves and he will be at a high point. Come on, Aiden. Oh. Well, folks, we've seen a couple of the climbers fall at that point there, and it'll be interesting to see how the scoring goes, but right now we have got I think it's Kate Mandel, 201. Kate Mandel from Queensland. starting her last climb of the night. Great showing there from Aiden. I think he'll be pretty happy with that effort. It'll be great to see a top on this one. Now we have a few more climbers to come. We've got 4 more in the junior male. We've got 4 more in the junior female, and I think we've got 3 or 4 more to come in the junior B male. On the home stretch of the lead finals here tonight, folks, at the National Youth Championships, put on by Sports Climbing Queensland and Sydney Indoor Climbing Gym, Villawood. If you live in New South Wales, come down and check it out. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous facility for climbing and bouldering and speed. Got a fantastic speed wall. The height of this climbing wall, about 15 metres, 12, 15 metres. So you know, plenty of height here if you want to get up high. Plenty of room to do so. But we have one of our competitors from Queensland here, Kate Mendel, making her way up her final climb for the night. And looks like we have over on youth B, over on the other climb. One of the competitors has just started over there. And we've got Jay Falconer from Queensland also. A couple of the Queenslanders. Jay sporting the hat, making it work. And we'll see how he goes with his last climb of the night. Looks like he's getting a bit of a pump a bit early. Not a great sign to get pumped early on the climb. Still a long way to go. But we shall see how he makes progress as well. And we've seen a couple of tops on this apricot pink climb over here. We've also got one of the other competitors in the junior male out on the wall right now, and I think that is Fahim Kendall. 3 climbers all up and on their last climb of the night. Let's see how these 3 make progress up the wall. Kate looking quite good, moving into a nice heel hook there. You can see she's keeping her arms straight, nice and efficient climbing, and getting those clips, quick draws done quickly without too much fuss. Fahim looking very solid so far as well, and Jay over on the junior B male lead route, getting pretty high as well. So all 3 of these climbers all finished in the middle of the rack, middle of the pack in the qualifiers. Oh, and Kate's off. And that might be one of the high points. She'd be pretty happy with that, I think. And also Jay's off as well. Both of them finished their competition for this evening. We do have the speed climbing tomorrow, folks. Around about the same time in the afternoon, between 2 and 4, the finals will commence. So make sure you put that in your calendar or subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. Is it subscribe or follow? And you'll get the notification. Oh, Fahim strong in the roof. Looking very comfortable right now. Not even breaking a sweat. So we shall see how, there it is. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel, folks. You'll get a reminder, or it'll pop up. You can set a reminder. And we'll see how Fahim makes it through this. He's giving the crowd a bit of a rev up. Get in behind him. He's shaking out. He knows this is where the business is. These next few moves really are designed to take it out of you. If not already, you're almost at your maximum, and a few more moves through this roof really are designed to make you get a little bit more pumped and physically exhausted as you go along. But for him, making it look quite easy, just a casual chin up in the roof there. Oh, well done, mate. Looking casual. Now, we know there's like 3 moves from here to make it to the high point. Looks like he's in a comfortable position right now. Getting a little bit of a rest, seeing if he's got that heel right in there. And when you put a heel up high, folks, you can use it like you can hang off it like you've got another arm to really give you a bit of a rest. It's a bit of an interesting technique for climbers. Some great climbers can really make the most of those. And for him, making the most of that for him as well. Just making sure he's got himself organised, trying to move through this section in the roof. Another heel hook. Oh, yes. Oh, well, this is the high point, I think, folks. He's made that hold, and he's actually stuck it. He's only 2 moves from the top. 1 big move right here, all the way over. Hopefully he doesn't get penalised for that. Touching that thing there, but all he's got to do now, folks, is make the clip, and the top is his. Got a little bit of drag, a little bit of rope drag here. You can imagine bringing 15. Well done for him. He's pretty happy with that. That is the first top of the night for Fahim Kandal in the junior male. Junior male all the way from around the corner in New South Wales, but we've got a few more competitors on the wall now. One of the Queenslanders, Ashley Brooks, and I think that's one of the Victorians right there, and that might be Jimmy. Let's have a bit of a look. Yep, Jimmy Smirk up for their last climb of the night. Jimmy's making good progress. Looking very stylish there in all blue, as the Victorians do. And Ashley did well last night in the boulder as well. Let's see how she goes here in the lead. He's got to be careful around the corner there. There's a couple of holds that he would probably prefer not to touch, and I think the judges would maybe not too happy about that. You can't use any other hold other than the designated colour, folks, at home if you're listening in. You can use those blue volumes that are on the wall. And like I was saying a moment ago, for anyone who's joining just recently, how does it get scored? Well, each hold is a point as you go from the bottom to the top. Oh, Jimmy's off. That was surprising. He was looking pretty solid right there, but he might be a bit disappointed with that. He was looking quite good. He did finish high in the qualifiers, come in number 2, come in second. And Ashley now, one of the final Queenslanders on the wall. And she finished in rank number 3. So we've got two more climbers out. 2 more still to come. Mia Weeder and Ella Easton for the junior female. But Ashley is still on the wall and making good progress. We want to see a top out of this one. And so far, so good. Great to see such a big crowd out here too tonight. Lots and lots of people coming out to support the climbers. And she's getting a nice little knee bar in there, or she was. It looked like it might have been. She's got to be careful not to touch those clips and those quick draws. Giving a little shake out before she embarks on this. 1 or 2 hard moves in the roof right now, and yeah, just looking like she's getting a bit of a pump here. Yeah, well done. Well done, Ashley. But as Ashley comes down, you can see a pretty packed gym here tonight. Lots of there you go, look at that massive crowd. People out, parents, supporters, other competitors for the weekend. Big shout out to all of the parents and friends and supporters of the climbing competition. Sports Climbing Australia putting on something great, and you can see the amazing volunteers there in the orange shirts. They've been doing an absolute stellar job also. So thanks to those guys. But a few more climbers to go. And looks like right now we've got Joshua Manel. Joshua Manel in our junior male. Joshua finished number 2, ranked number 2. And he's from New South Wales. So Joshua, last climb of the night, mate. What can you do? And I'm sure that's what he's thinking as well in his mind. Again, you can see Joshua moving reasonably fast, trying to get as high as he can, as quick as he can, just to make sure you have enough energy. We know the business starts in this one in the roof. Let's see what Joshua can do. Many climbing gyms popping up around the world now, folks, and all over Australia. Climbing extremely popular. Like I was saying before, in the Olympics now, which is fantastic for these young athletes. I know many of them are eyeing off those ideas. There's a couple of our young athletes here tonight also making the trip over to the youth international competition as well in Salt Lake City and a couple of other competitions around the world. Great to see such a vibrant climbing competition scene going around the world. If you ever want to check it out, then you will be able to check out that online. But who we've got here is Max. And we've got Max Bodica. Max is all the way from Western Australia. He finished in number 1 in the qualifiers. And looking pretty good, Max. And I'm sure he'll want to make it to the top here in his last and final climb of the night. Halfway for Max, up the wall. Looks like we've already got Mia in the middle there on her last climb of the night as well. Mia all the way from Queensland also. No, New South Wales. Sorry, Mia. You travelled from New South Wales to Queensland the other day at Flow. Just got them around the wrong way. Mia is making her way up. We've also got our competitor, Hugo. Was I calling Hugo Josh before? I do apologise if I got you out of sequence there. I didn't have my glasses on, Josh and Hugo. But we've got Hugo Hornshaw in the roof. We know that this is where the business starts for this one, folks. We've got Mia and we've got Max, the final climber in Youth B male tonight. Our third last climber, Hugo Hornshaw in the junior male, finding his way to and looking quite comfortable right there, right now in the roof. Finding the double toe hook there with a bit of it. There we go. Look at that, folks. Hey, hey. Might be a bit of showboating, but why not as you go along? Well done, Hugo. Entertainment for the crowd as well as a rest for you. And Mia making her way up the wall as well. Pretty high for her, just shaking out. We could zoom out, we get both of those climbers there. There we go. Now Mia getting to the business end of this climb as well for the junior female. She finished in number 2 position in the qualifiers. Hugo in number 3. So he's just making sure he gets a rest here before he charges up into this head wall. Now, we had our previous high point, or not our previous high point, a top in our previous climber from Fahim. And I'm sure Hugo would like to do the same. Now, Mia getting up to where the previous high point was pretty close in the other ones as well. But let's keenly watch Hugo here. This is where these couple of moves, and only a couple more moves to the top here. He's looking quite strong and in control. You would think from here a top would be pretty inevitable. He's still resting on that hole, which is sideways. And Mia made positive contact with that hold. I think she'll be pretty happy with that. There we go. Looks like only one more bit for Hugo to clip the top. And that will be a top for Hugo as well. Yes. Very happy with that, Hugo. So a top for Hugo, a top for him, top for Hugo. We haven't seen a top yet for the other two. Mia Wieder was our climber just previous. Max on the youth B male, and last two climbers to come, or last three, will be Ella Easton, Joshua, and Maxim Pear. And great to see all of these climbers putting in such an effort. And it's nice to see a couple of tops on each of the climbs. The route setters have done a fantastic job, I think. Each of these routes have really given a good testing of the climbers' skills and abilities. And I was chatting with one of the route setters yesterday just about how they design these things, and they really do put some thought into it. It's not a random, let's just spray some things on the wall and see what happens. They spend hours and hours adjusting and tweaking the climbs to make sure each of the climbers are tested to the maximum of their abilities, and also different styles. Throughout the route, you can see vertical, you can see overhanging, you can see powerful, you can see dynamic stuff, and really at the end of the day, that's fantastic. Now we do have Joshua. Apologise, Joshua and Hugo mixing you two up before, but now we have the real Joshua, Joshua Manel, in the junior male as we go. Alberto, a bit of a shout out to you. How did Marlo and AJ go? There will be some announcements real soon. We should be able to show you some of the scoring very soon as well. So we can have a bit of a look at that in a moment as well. So we can do some live scoring, or we can show you some of the live scores in a moment. So stick with it as you go, and we shall see. We've only got a couple of climbers to go as we approach the winners, or see who's going to be the winners of our Youth National Championships lead finals here. The finals for Youth A male, Youth A female, Youth B female, and Youth B male. But on the wall right now, we've got Joshua. And Joshua finished in second in the qualifiers, so you would think after seeing a top for him and Hugo previous, we shall see how Joshua goes. Strong climbers. How does it work if you have multiple tops in the final? And from what I understand about the scoring, it is the time to top, how long it takes you to get to that top as we go. And looks like at this point in time, we do have some of the results, but I'll wait till this final climbers come through and I'll announce them in a minute. And they're not official, folks, until the appeals are done, and that's usually about for 15 minutes afterwards. Stay with us as well. We will have some awards potentially today or tomorrow. And we will record those and post them up as well. But today we have the live scoreboard working, so we'll be able to at least let you know who was in contention at the finish of the live stream tonight. However, we're watching Joshua here. And Joshua from New South Wales. Seeing if he can make it through to a podium spot on the finals. All right, folks. Well, I just got the word that we'll have a 15-minute appeals. The scores and the potential winners will be up soon. There'll be 15-minute appeals, and there will be the presentations immediately after that. So stick with us for the presentations and the winners. We're going to leave the live stream going. We might do a few little live cuts to a few things, but we will have the presentations and the medals done soon, so stick around for that. But right now, we are watching Joshua from the youth male. Now, Joshua made a top in the qualifiers. And the previous two climbers, which is Farhan and Hugo, have both topped this climb. And I'm sure Joshua would like to do that also. If we get double tops in this, folks, then we will be, it'll be a count back to how long it took for them to make it to the top. The clock is ticking. Joshua. But again, looking a little bit tired here, but making pretty good progress. Let's see if he can get his foot organised here. Yeah. Well done, mate. One more move to the top. Come on. Big cross. There we go. If you can just make this work, all he's got to do is clip the top, folks, and that will be designated as a top. And sometimes it's a bit... yes, he's made two tops, 2 clips. And there you go. Well done. Yes. Well. Pretty awesome to see. We've got one more climber out, and that's Maxim Pair. And Maxim, again, made a top and qualified in position number 1 in the qualifiers. Hotly contested, the junior male, seeing a few tops, which is great. The crowd loving it out here tonight. Packed crowd with competitors, parents and supporters. Big shout out to all of you guys making the effort. It's not an event without all of the amazing competitors and supporters who do support this event. This event is the 2022 National Youth Championships, folks. Jason Witten here, coming to you live from Sydney Indoor Climbing Gym in Villawood. Shout out to those guys. Fantastic climbing centre. Fantastic venue. Awesome for lead climbing, speed climbing and bouldering. And we've got our final climber out now for the junior female, Ella Easton. And Ella, all the way from New South Wales, a local girl. Well, you never know with New South Wales. They could be from anywhere in New South Wales, but you might think Sydney. And Ella, this is her last attempt, and now we have a Western Australian, Maxim Pair, out as well at the same time. He's about to start his climb for the night. The last one for their competitions today. These climbers have been here all day, qualifying, waiting in, isolation, warming up, warming down. It's a long day, and certainly one you've got to get your mojo on when it comes to managing your energy for the day. These climbers getting some great experience now. Many of their international compadres, especially from America and Europe, in previous years, getting a bit more experience than the Australians. But now you can see that, the quality of these events put on by Sports Climbing Australia and also the Sports Climbing Federations, or associations, sorry, of the other states. Fantastic to see so many competitors here. We're watching Maxim and Ella Easton, Maxim Pair from Western Australia. This is their final climb of the night. These pair, finished in first place in the qualifiers. And I'm sure they would want to repeat that right now on their final climb of the night. The crowd is getting pretty pumped. Pretty excited about what is going on. Stick with us, like I said, folks, before we will have a 15-minute short break, 15-minute break. We've got some videos and some footage we'll play between then and there for all of you guys, and we will then do the presentation straight afterwards. But what I will do is I'll announce the interim finishing spots as soon as these two climbers finish, and we'll be able to have a little look at who the winners potentially will be. It won't be official until after the 15 minutes, so we'll let you know then if you stick around. Anyone at home, Alberto, how did Marlo and AJ go? And you'll find out very soon, so stick with us on that one. But our final climber here tonight, Maxim Pair, looking pretty comfortable now, moving through the roof. We know this is where the business starts on this one, folks. We've seen a few of our climbers struggle in this moment or this part of their climb. And we've got Ella Easton looking to make a 1-2 of it. Finished in first in the qualifiers, and now this is her final climb in the finals tonight. Many of these competitors have been already competing yesterday in the boulder. Backing it up here for the lead. Oh, and Maxim looking like he's got plenty left in the tank, a one-armed chin up through the roof. And let's just see how he goes here. Not choosing to do the bat hang like I think it was Hugo or Joshua did before, but again now just finding a little heel there for a bit of a rest. Clipping this quick draw early to conserve a bit of energy off the big hold. Now Ella, how's she making her way? Not too far behind as well. Great to see. Maxim now making his move through the roof. We know this is probably the crux part of the climb of the night. They can get themselves through this part of, and looking like he's doing that in style and ease. Other than a mistake here, I think we're going to see a top. Ella making good progress also in the roof. Yeah, here we go. Nice job, Maxim. Now, all he's got to do is clip that. Don't rush it, make it work. Now Ella. One more move, I think, and then we'll get Maxim's at top. Well done. And he made quick time of that as well. So let's see how he goes. Ella here looking reasonably comfortable on the lip. And if she pulls this next move, I think that would be the high point we've seen all night on this climb as well. It'd be great to see a top of this one. Looks like a big move up for this next move, though. Yes. Come on, Ella. The crowd is getting behind her. Oh! Well, maybe she's the winner. I can't say, folks. That will be. So there you go, folks. We've had all of our competitors out. What an absolute fantastic big round of applause for those guys. The crowds loved it. What an awesome night of competition we've had here. We've had the Youth B, the Youth A, and the Junior male-female finals competitors here. As you can hear in the background, the judges are just announcing that they are going to have a 15-minute opportunity for the competitors to make an appeal, and then we'll be back with the competitions. But what I'm going to leave you with, folks, is the Day 2 podium. So the winners from yesterday in the break. So don't go away. We will be back in 15 minutes live for the winners of tonight's lead, but we're going to show you some recordings and some footage from yesterday's competition and also yesterday's winners on the podium. Don't go away. We'll be back in 15 minutes. All right, folks, a few more minutes until the podium announcements, but I can tell you, I will be able to show you who has qualified where, and pending any appeals, this will be your final podium winners. So if we have a look at our Youth B male, you can see the top 8 climbers started out tonight, and at this moment in time, we have Jimmy Smirk from Victoria, and Jimmy with 29 points plus in first place. Max Bodiger from WA, 28 plus, and Jai Falconer from Queensland at 27 plus. You can see their times on the side there, folks. At the moment, they will be our 3 finalists, well, not finalists, our 3 podium winners in that rank. So we've now got our Youth B female, and we've got a couple of tops in there, and you can see how it works. Maya Stasik topping out today. Maya from Victoria, and she topped out the climb in 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So you can see, folks, the faster you top, the better off you are. And Teo Murasewa from Victoria made a top as well. However, she topped in 2 minutes 38 seconds, so she's coming in second. And Summer Fraser from New South Wales came in at 34 plus on her finals attempt. So well done to those 3. Now on to the Youth A female winners tonight. Emily Scott from the ACT at 49 plus points. We didn't see any tops on this one, but some pretty close competitors. Right there, Azaria Briscoe from New Zealand at 45, and we had Clea Hall from Queensland at 44 plus. Our Youth A male, Dylan Soyne, 38. No tops on that one either. Max Thomas from Queensland, Dylan Soyne from New South Wales, 38 points plus. Max Thomas from Queensland at 35, and Ethan Naylor from Queensland at 35 also. Good to see those guys making the most of tonight. And we had a couple of tops on the junior male. We saw Josh Manel, our final climber, out. And a fantastic top it was in 5 minutes. Closely, very pipped Hugo Hornshaw from New South Wales at the post, with a top also at 5 minutes and 15 seconds. You can see, folks, 5 minutes up there on that wall hanging upside down. Absolute amazing work from those young athletes. And Aidan Yanev from WA. Great to see the Western Australians getting a piece of the action at 4 minutes. Well done to all of those competitors. Hang on, folks. That is not the absolute finals winners just yet. However, at this moment in time, that's who they are, and pending any appeals, you will see those young athletes receiving their awards, their medals for their positions on the podium in about 5 to 10 minutes. So hang around, don't go away. Great to see all of you guys on the live stream tonight. Appreciate all of the support. Fantastic to see you here. And just a little reminder that tomorrow at around about 2 to 4, depending on how the day goes, we will be having the speed climbing finals. There will be some qualifiers in the morning, but there will be the finals in the afternoon. Make sure you come back, set a reminder, subscribe on the YouTube channel for that one also. So stick around, folks. I'll chuck to a little bit of background music and maybe a few videos or two, and we'll pop back for the podium and the winners in just a moment. right, folks. We've got our podium ready to be announced. There was a couple of appeals, so what you saw on the screen maybe a moment ago might have changed. And we've got a bit of a close-up shot over there of the medals of all of the competitors, which is fantastic. Taking home some nice keepsakes for their efforts for the weekend. But now we've got our MC. So hopefully you can hear him in the background there. I'll turn that up a little bit.
This weekend, we still have speak to go tomorrow. We've had all the bowler athletes and all the lead athletes. Another thank you to the parents. Obviously, the athletes couldn't be here without the parents supporting.
states actually, so it's really exciting to see that all the states have excellent people like you, and that you can come on board and that, you know, so thank you. This stage is going good. I'm not going to call out the wood sellers, wood selling people need, you already find the wood selling people older than before. I think they have a map at the moment. They did work quite hard. But that said, the wood selling team did work as hard, if not harder too. And I'd like to call them all out, led by Carly Burton, Rob Petering, Sarah Lucas, Karen McCauley, and David Taylor. And some of you may know that Carly is also really involved in the operation here, being in charge. So not only she's been heading the wood selling team, but also running the facility. Thank you, everyone. And a final thanks to all the volunteers, including the judges, the players, admin support, the cameramans. If you want to know the ways to be involved in the events, where are you? Although I can see lots of hands, and some of you have already left. Thanks a lot for all your work. Some of the days like yesterday start at 7 a.m. and finish at 9 p.m. And these people, they'll be here from 7 till 9, working tirelessly non-stop. And that's very, very amazing. You got them to do it. So thanks so much to all of you and all the volunteers. A very short announcement before we get to the podium is that we will have an Oceania Championship this year. You may have heard about it, maybe not. The New Zealand team, I think, is aware of it. So here you go. Now everyone is aware of it. The Oceania Championships are scheduled to be in New Caledonia, from the 12th to the 16th of October, where Fiji, Australia, New Zealand, and New Caledonia will participate. So book it in, and we'll give you more information in a short time. Finally, we mentioned it before, the first and second in all the youth age, youth free, and junior categories are selected to be on the national team and to represent Australia at the World Youth Championship that will be in Paris in the US from the 22nd to the 31st of August. So thanks to all the athletes, congratulations to all the athletes, and congratulations to our new team. A lot that there is a process of application on particular of special consideration. If you know and aware of it, make yourself aware that it's happening next week. So if you have any interest in the team or any questions, please make yourself aware of the team manager on the questions. I think that's it for now. Thanks again, everyone. We're going to move to the podium.
Okay, so kicking off the podium tonight, we'll start with the junior female category, and we're going to do both events and national podiums. For junior female,
Hang on, folks. Hopefully you can hear me still. We've got a technical difficulty. One moment. Hopefully we should be back with you in just a moment. Some of our camera stuff may have temporarily gone offline. But here we go. We're back with you now. Give it a moment. We'll be back online. There we go. All right, I'll leave you with the commentators. Don't go away. We've got the podium coming up right now, folks.
okay, so back to the podium. So this one will be both the event and Australian podium for this particular category. And placing third in the junior female category, we have Mia Rita. Placing second in the junior female second to Youth A male, Matt Thomas. And in first place for Youth A male, Dylan Soy. Round of applause for our Youth A male Podium. Okay, the next round, the Youth B female, we have a event podium and an Australian podium. So taking our third place in the event podium is Summer Fraser. In second spot for the event podium, Taylor Murasawa. And first spot for the Youth female event podium, Maya Sasui. Big round of applause for the Youth female event podium. Thank you girls, again our athletes don't go too far. So taking that third spot for the Australian podium in Youth female, Joanna Walden. In second spot, Summer Fraser. And first race for the Youth female Australian podium, Maya Sasui. Big round of applause for our Youth female Australian podium. Thank you girls. And our last podium for the evening, combined event and Australian podium, taking up third spot for Youth female, Jai Falconer. In second spot for the Youth female podium, Jimmy Smith. And in first place for Youth female, Matt Scottica. Big final round of applause for our Youth female podium. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes this evening. Make sure you stick around tomorrow for the speed action. It will be streamed live on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. You can't make it tomorrow, but hopefully you can come along, cheer on all the athletes, and yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Thank you very much.
There you go, folks. You heard it. Well done to all the competitors, and I'm sure they'll be very happy to take home their medals for this evening. Remember, join us tomorrow for the speed event. It will be an absolute cracker showdown for all of those competitors, I'm quite sure, when it comes to their final day here at the 2022 National Youth Championships. Fantastic to have all of you guys joining us online tonight on the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and join us tomorrow. In the afternoon, we will be going live for the finals for the speed climbing. And speed climbing is always impressive, action-packed. Around anywhere between 2 and 4 o'clock, we should be going live, depending on how the day goes. So make sure you join us back then, folks. Before we sign off tonight, we'll leave you with one or two little behind-the-scenes videos that we did earlier today. This is Jason Witten here with you live.